Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Monday Sound Stream. We have basically little news, but a lot of news that we'll talk long moments about, like Star Trek. That's a big one. But we are, of course, me, the Soundout12, and then also we have our wonderful fighter couch, Jerry.
Yeah, and I'm awake, so yeah.
Yeah. Ryan will be joining us later. He said he would be late, so he should be here later. And Wheels won't be joining us. That's the current roster. So, welcome everybody in the chat. Jerry, if you don't mind, could you give us a rundown of who's in the chat?
Yeah. Well, welcome to Muteki, JoJo Star, Jamie's World, Infinity War Torn, Toma, Spin Dash, Common JoJo, Cameron, I'm probably pronouncing it Mater?
I think we're going with Mater.
And
correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah, and correct, please. Yes, and SSJ4 Jason just said hello there.
All right, welcome everybody. Glad to see everybody here. It's always fun. The structure for the show today is that we're gonna hit up these little tiny news topics first, just kind of rapid fire them, and then we're going to go into the heavier topics later on. Thank you, Toma. Toma gifted a membership. So the way that the gifted
I didn't know you
memberships
could do
work,
that.
yeah, you can gift memberships, and the gifted memberships will go to I think YouTube algorithm picks who gets it, and it looks like Don Ranger Power was gifted the membership. So thank you, Toma, for gifting membership to help support the channel.
I thought Twitch was the only thing you could do that on.
Yeah, I think on Twitch you can send it to specific people, but if you do it on YouTube, it just goes to somebody. So yeah, but yeah, if you guys want to support the channel by joining as a member and then also gifting memberships, it all helps the channel. Which with how the toy industry works, with so many things coming out lately, really appreciate any support you can give. But as always, of course, we're going to do things because I understand not everybody can afford things. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Also, hello, Soul Man, and reminder to hit the like button.
Yes, please. And also,
I see 23, but only 3 likes on my end.
Yeah, we need more likes. The likes help the stream get out more. Also, did we? I don't know if we welcomed Jeremy Carr, but hello, Zolami City.
Oh, did we?
Played in my brain like Gaim, so Gaim flashbacks.
And also, Cameron said it's meter. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Hit like button. Appreciate it. And I think we're just gonna go off and running. I'm ready to just kind of go through the news, because some of this news are just bummers. If I'm being honest.
No, legit.
I've structured it to be like bummer news, good news, bummer news, good news. That was kind of like the way I designed it. So we'll go through all of this. Yeah, do we have anything else we want to say in intro? I think I don't know. We'll talk about Doctor Who at the end of the show. How about that? If you guys stick around.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I got Doctor Who thoughts because there was a new special on Saturday. I'm officially 3 weeks into watching. Toma gifted another membership. Thank you, Toma. That is really cool how it pops up and tells me that JoJo Star was gifted a membership. I'm gonna have to update the membership list. This is great. Yeah, it's all YouTube picking who gets the memberships because that's just how the system is. It's really strange.
On Twitch. Yeah, it is. On Twitch, you can say you specifically. YouTube, somebody. Oh, hey, hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Disco. It's me, the Ryan.
Yay.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
Now this show got hit by youth.
The power of youth.
that me or you, especially me, don't have.
I just got home from food shopping, and guess what came on my front set door when I got not front door because my mom got brought in the house. But this should be my Figma Samus Dread finally coming in.
Figma Dread Samus.
I'll say one thing I always say. I'll say this, but I'm not sure. Is I hate Good Smile doesn't tell you, hey, we're gonna fund your pre-order soon. So they don't tell you. So just a sudden, your item's been shipped. And I see that, it's like, oh god. And I see, ow, there goes $90 my bank.
Golly.
That's been my whole day.
I hate it.
Unexpected monetary charges for toys.
Yeah, isn't Hasbro's a bunch of Hasbro products been like shipping out now? All of a sudden, their
Yep.
treat date is like
like next
yeah.
month, February, March. I've gotten so much stuff. Like at this point too, like GI Joe especially has already been hitting me
I
bad.
know a bunch of the
So
Legacy United stuff has been. I know a lot of the Legacy United stuff's been just out now on Amazon, even though they've
yeah,
been street dated for February.
and I keep checking Pulse because I'm scared.
when they're gonna strike.
Yeah. Yeah, because I check Pulse a lot to see when the dates are going to change. They do send emails out 4 days before something comes out, which is nice. So like I have a heads up.
I wish, yeah, I wish, I wish
yeah.
I got that information. Cause I was gonna, I was like, I happy to pay for it, but it's more of like, hey, thanks for not telling me ahead of time because I couldn't prepare my
Yep.
other buying stuff, like stuff to buy. It's not like it's the holidays or anything like that. I need to buy
Hasbro,
gifts and stuff,
Mattel, and every Blu-ray company doesn't understand that the holidays are a time you're supposed to spend money on other people.
and not yourself. Yeah. Oh, this box is
Yeah.
pretty nice. It has this nice slipcover and everything.
Yeah, the slipcover threw me off on the Figma Samus, but I'm ready to get rolling into the news because we don't have.
Have you? Yeah, I was say, have you anything I missed out?
Just
Or
intro
just
time,
just
and Toma gifted 2 memberships, so thank you, Toma.
nice. Thank you, Toma. Remember to like the stream, everybody. Also,
Yeah, we got good likes going. So, first things first, as always, it's time to promote the stuff I made last week. Specifically, Figure Arts Ultraman Blazar and the Sonic Home Video History, which both did pretty good.
which I made,
So
the thumbnail for.
yeah,
For the
Ryan
Sonic
made
one.
the thumbnail. It looks nice.
I'm glad you made that Sonic one, especially now.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed oddly well timed.
I did not plan for the Game Awards to have a big old Sega trailer
Yeah.
right before I put that video out. This was just I had this on the back burner for like a month, but then I finally got a Sonic T-shirt, so it worked
Speaking
out.
of Game Awards, Cal, sparking. Are you spark? Are you sparks? Are you sparking excited to use 2099 terms?
I am sparking excited. Well, I am excited for sure, especially knowing the game was developed for 5 years.
And
it looks
on
awesome.
thoughts on new vampire game, for our Mr. Vampire.
I'm not gonna get excited about a Marvel game until I actually see some gameplay out of one of them. I'm tired of seeing cinematic trailers that just announce
Soundout.
something.
How do you feel that it's Bethesda? That's the thing.
Oh, the Bethesda thing is.
it's-
I'm already like, if it's Xbox exclusive,
Well,
I
believe
I don't care.
they're not the developers.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's done by the people who did Dishonored and Deathloop, which is such a good team to choose for a Blade game.
Yep. I don't want to do
game.
Sparking Zero full talk here because we're going to do that tomorrow on Kausa's stream.
Yeah, we are. Oh yeah.
The Sega trailer though, where they're like, "Here's 5 games with gameplay." I lost my mind. Kaus can.
I know. It's kind of funny. The most excitement, 2 game excitements from the Game Awards for Dragon Ball and Sega games because they actually show gameplay for those 2.
Yeah, those are the only 2 that showed gameplay, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But and putting them back to back and then following it up with some cinematic trailer for a game I didn't care about was really nice because I needed to come down from the elevated heart rate.
Wrap up sound. God, I hate that so much.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll talk.
Respect your game developers, people, please.
We'll talk more about that on Kausa's stream tomorrow since it's more video game focused. If we have time at the end, we can talk about it too. But let's get to it. So last week's videos, everybody seemed to like the Sonic video, which was great. That was like 6.5 hours of research, and I still got 2 things wrong. And then we had the Lightning Collection Lottery finale and Frankentron last week. Barely anybody watched Frankentron, so if you want to go watch something for a minute.
Well, it's the usual pattern of
nobody cares about Universal Monsters but me. Yeah. Anyways,
what was the 2 things you got wrong in the Sonic one? I'm curious.
Apparently the ADV 2004 DVD for the OVA did have Japanese audio. I'm still investigating that because there's like no sources on that, and I messed up and said that the 3rd saga set from the 4Kids release of Sonic X was missing episode 27, but I had 2 people in the comments say, "Hey, I have that, and it does have 27 on it."
Must be conflicting reports from people then.
Yeah, the Sonic Wiki says that it only has 28 through 38, so it's just little minor things. Honestly, It happens. I always get two sources, but sometimes two sources can be wrong. Anyways, yeah, if you want to join as a member, there is a join button. There's 3 tiers: $1, $3, $5 a month with different perks. The way that early access is working right now, because there is, I think is it the $3 tier and higher you get the early access?
$3, yeah, $3 tier.
If you join at the $3 tier or whatever converts to your local currency and higher, you get early access. And early access is when I have the video done and I've checked it, it goes live to members. So it's not a specific time of like when you get early access, but like for example, last week, our members got to see the Sonic video like more than 12 hours early, I think. It was like 16 or 17 hours early. So it just when it's done, it'll go out to members and then, goes out public at the normal time. So that's that. Plus apparently get emojis for the chat, but they don't show up on my OBS thing. So it shows up on your screen though. But there are some perks there. We may also tweak them in the future to add more stuff as we kind of work on them.
That's weird. Oh, that's weird. The Samus doesn't come with the Yujo Figma fan rack. I'm not used to that.
Oh yeah, because she only has like 2 hands, 2 or 3
hands. Yeah.
All right. Moving on to news time. We got like a bunch of just rapid fire topics, and we don't need to sit here and discuss them. If you are interested in the Ghostbusters, Ghost Trap, and PKE meter Haslab, you have 6 hours and 50. Hold on, let's refresh. You got 6 hours and 45 minutes to back it. It has been fully backed. All of the
all the tiers
got met. Yep. So, yeah, you can get this if you want. This is more like a PSA than anything else. Welcome Sean's Toy Room, who says, as someone who's watched all your vintage Star Trek Playmates videos, appreciate your live stream on this topic now. You're welcome. Yeah, we will get into that after we kind of just blow through some of these smaller... I could get through some smaller news topics, then we'll get into a big old discussion about Star Trek. There was no Knuckles news at the Game Awards.
That was so... I was expecting, because that show supposed to come out this year still.
It's now 2024.
Did they change that?
They changed that, and it's due to the strikes.
Okay, I thought that was filmed before the strikes. That's
so
weird.
The show script supervisor on LinkedIn has a mention of the fact that it is a 6-episode series. So that was pretty much all the news. But it's coming anytime. It's coming anytime now. We're getting close to it. But it's going to be 6 episodes. It will probably be next year. I think also it may be not necessarily that the strikes affected the production, but that Paramount's looking at their calendar for next year and going, crap, we have like nothing. So they're going to be spacing out what they got.
They're going to probably release it early 2024, and then because Sonic 3 is supposed to be end of Christmas, December 2024.
We know Star Trek Discovery is coming out in April, so I think this is going to come out before then, if I'm guessing. Just to kind of, space out their shows. All right. For some reason, the Gotchard Deluxe Dread Driver is getting a U.S. release. I don't know exactly what's going on.
No Gotchard though.
Yeah.
No, go away.
Just to Dread.
Just to Dread.
Just to Dread.
Is this P Bandai?
Right? It's P Bandai in Japan, yeah, and it's getting a U.S. release through Toku Collectibles. Put this news out, not anybody involved with.
There must be some weird. There must be some weird, like, because it's a P Bandai item, there has to be, like, you have to release it both US and
yeah, I don't exactly know why. Because the problem is they're releasing the drivers and, like, the retail toys, but they're not doing the blind box cards, so you're missing out on
I think that's why they're not doing Gotchard, because how do you... Because
they did release the Gotchard driver and they're doing the Dread driver, but yeah, like how do you do the card boxes? Because that's a whole legal thing.
You need to you kind of need those cards. Like you can use the ones that come with the driver, but that's only like one form, and it gets like boring after that.
All right, moving on. Hasbro is doing a Marvel Legends fan stream December 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern. That's the end of that news. And then DC's out to get me again with this damn spine art. Here is the Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1 cover art with this new spine design that does not continue which means we have the letters for the continuing spine art be DC Un.
Because,
We didn't even get an I. It just ends at.
Do we have the spine for the 4K?
There is no regular 4K. It's only a steelbook.
Oh, well, I think that means
there is no spine art on the 4K.
Because I think what happened.
It's not NC-17 for some reason. Amazon says it is. It's PG-13, but yeah.
What? You know what I think what happened? Because what do we have so far in the spine art? DC
UN. Yeah.
UN. Is it a complete N or like a
nope.
or the cutoff N?
It's a cutoff N. They couldn't even. But since this is a trilogy, there's probably going to be like one character on each spine part.
Yeah. Oh no, that's how they get you. No, I think I know why. Because they're gonna do a trilogy pack that has the complete N.
Well, maybe they would. I don't know if they are because the Long Halloween dual pack didn't have any spine part. So
I think it's one of those because Sensei won't be able to complete that spine art because this probably is gonna be the finale of the Tomorrowverse.
They confirmed it was the finale of the Tomorrowverse. So
yeah. So what's the point?
Yeah,
they kind of.
The spine art idea would have been better done years ago when
with the Dekamu.
Yeah, when the Dekamu was happening. Like doing it now, I don't know. DC is such a mess. I don't think I can care.
Do you think it would have been better all the anime movies had that spine, like not to say just Tomorrowverse?
If it was all the animated movies, because for some reason it's the Tomorrowverse plus Soul of the Dragon.
Yeah, and so I think that maybe that was originally the idea, but then like Warner Brothers said like, no, let's do it specific for just this universe, and then this happened.
It still says intro time because I forgot to click the button. Thank you, Cameron. All right. Okay. So next up, the members. I'm going to put this in quotes. Members approve the 2023 SAG-AFTRA TV theatrical contract. This news is. I said we had bummer news followed up by good news. This is one of those. So they've ratified the contract. There was 78% of the people voted yes, and it was a turnout of 38% of the membership. So it's 78% of 38%, which is not that many people. There was a lot of problems brought up with the contract language in regards to AI performance capture, not just likeness capture, and a lot of other things.
This is especially bad for voice. It's the biggest thing is voice actors are screwed over practically because this is I think I haven't seen that much live action live actors talk about it, but
voice actors and video game voice actors in particular.
Every single voice actor, no matter if you're an anime voice actor, a cartoon voice actor, video game, every voice actor is like screw this because they're not gonna protect them, and unlike actor faces, it's much easier to copy a voice.
It is.
And adding to this, there is a voice actors union that's starting to form now.
Yeah, I saw there's a new voice actor union, not from SAG, because I think every actor part and not part SAG-AFTRA or people who wanted to join SAG was like, nope, we're not joining you anymore because you didn't protect us.
There was a similar story that studios are surprised that there's people not coming in to pitch ideas to them, and it's like, I don't know, you told everybody you were going to wait till they were homeless before giving them a fair deal. Or you're Warner Brothers and you just start throwing things in the trash. Right, Jerry? What do you think? Would you go pitch something to Warner Brothers right now?
Heck no.
Exactly.
They're going to throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
I am thinking of pitching things, but it ain't to WB, I'll tell you that much.
What was that? Wasn't there, I forget, wasn't there Teen Titans Go? Was it the Freakazoid episode where they found all these Warner Brothers, old shows, like films, and they just tossed in the fire?
Yes. That was the Freakazoid episode where it was like somebody in the back of Warner Brothers just throwing things in the fire, and it was like, wow. God, you can learn so much about Warner Brothers through watching Teen Titans Go.
I'm kind of hoping like the TG Go team like secretly hide a bunch of Warner Brothers jokes in the newest season, but they had to like carefully hide it so they don't get caught easily.
Exactly. They're also like nobody watches their show; they just look at our ratings. Also, welcome Don Ranger Power. yeah, Star Trek Insurrection has its 25th anniversary this week, right? Which is
Was
pretty
that
cool.
the bad movie?
I like
Or-
Insurrection. Nemesis is the bad one.
Well, yeah, now I'm thinking of Nemesis. That was the
Yeah.
last one, right?
SSJ4 Jason says the only pitch I'm throwing at WB is a pitchfork. I found, just to highlight a tweet. So apparently, people were wondering why was it only 38% of people actually voted, and this person here says hearing union dues being late was a huge reason why many who would have voted couldn't. Just another way to make sure the wealthier elite are the ones making the decisions. Yeah, because if you didn't have your dues paid up, you couldn't vote, and people couldn't afford to do that.
That's stupid.
Yes, that's basically like rig. That is rigging it. I think basically.
Basically, yeah.
That is. I don't want to go automatic rig, but that sounds stupid. Like that really sounds.
It does, and so we'll have to see how the consequences of all this lay out. And I know a lot of voice.
I know a lot of voice actors gonna leave the union probably.
Yeah, and people that were considering joining SAG that are in voice acting are like, maybe not, and SAG's gonna start feeling that soon. Okay. Oh, I also agree, Don Ranger Power. I like Insurrection as my second favorite TNG movie after First Contact. First Contact's a masterpiece. All right, let's talk about something happier. Here's Good Smile Company's Mecha Smile Impact 2024 Winter Gallery.
Oh yeah, my God, I didn't know they were having one of those days, so I woke up the day of, and I'm like, where are these dudes coming from?
Yep, okay, so first up, we got Modroid New Iran from Expelled from Paradise. Anybody got anything?
Yeah,
friendship.
I've actually seen some of that show. Is that not bad?
Is this the same movie that has the same character designer as Xenoblade 2? The Xenoblade game, so 2 and 3. I think that's the same anime where this comes from.
Toma says that she will gift one more sub if we can get up to 20 likes, so hit that like button.
Come on, people.
Yeah. Spin Dash brings a good point, too. Yeah, their polls... Mega's XLR is up in the America poll because you can just vote for any robot for Modroid, and Mega's XLR is pretty high up there on the Americas. Poll. So
okay, I know that show got tax write-off, but does that mean one of us owns the rights or no?
They still own it. They just can't release the show, but merch could technically
Soulman
exist.
said that Expel from Paradise was actually in Super Robot Wars T that was the one on Switch, if you remember.
Oh yeah, that one.
Mateki, it's not related to Xenoblade. I think the character designer did.
Yeah, I'm trying to double check.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next one. We've got Choriki Robo Galat, the Modroid Jumbo.
Hey, I know that.
I love this guy. My favorite type of like robot designs or just like character design is like friend to like cool action. Like
by the way, you were right, Brian.
Okay.
It is the Xenoblade. Yeah.
Yeah, but so that's my favorite character, like from like platformer mascot to JRPG character.
Yeah.
I love these kind of designs.
I love it. It's very Mike Sounders.
Mike Sounders why I wish XA is why I wish XA focused more on the level 1 forms.
Yeah.
Those should have been the default forms of the whole show.
All right, next up we've got from Buddy Complex, the Modroid Luxon.
That's a series I've been meaning to check out.
I also have been meaning to watch it. I know of it, but I never watched it. But
I always heard.
I
heard great things about Buddy Complex.
We're on the Mecha Smile website, which for some reason, yes, is an X and a smiley face emoji. Good smile is weird. All right, from Buddy Complex, the Modroid Braidron.
Love the design.
Looks really cool. Welcome, Commodore 64.
Bradyon.
Bradyon. Okay, I'm moving on before
I don't know. I need to watch the show.
From Father in the Azure, the Beyond, the Modroid Fafnir Mark Drazen Re Kronos.
Fafnir is one that I haven't watched because I didn't feel like it. One of our friends has watched it.
I do like the design of it.
It looks cool.
It's the guy who it's the Gundam Seed guy. What's his name?
I'm too tired to remember. All right. Next up, we have from Fafnir in the Azure, the Beyond, the Modroid Fafnir Mark Veer Re Abaddon. So that looks
That's
cool
the name.
Oh yeah, Don Ranger Power mentioned 2 more weeks till Christmas and the Netflix debut of Star Trek Prodigy. Yeah, so if you haven't seen Star Trek Prodigy, it's going to be on Netflix on Christmas. Watch it. It's
Again,
good.
honestly, I always feel like that was a better place for it than Paramount. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, they think it actually has a kids tab. All right, from the Return of Godzilla, the Modroid Super X.
Oh yeah, the fact this is getting made.
It's
Is
kind
this
of crazy.
from which? Is this from versus Monster X?
This is from Return of Godzilla, which was the 1984 film.
Okay.
It looks so cool. All right. Next up, we've got the Godzilla vs. Biollante Modroid Super X2, which is from the sequel, and it was the X2 to the X. I'm surprised that these are happening. Cameron asks, we'll be streaming on Christmas. We are not streaming on Christmas. We're going to be taking that week off. I'll probably put out like a little video. Just
I mean, that's for people who don't know, that is my birthday. So
Ryan's got one of those special birthdays.
Oh, do your parents just say, forget
it? I get 2 gifts.
Oh, okay. Because some parents will be like, no. It's
or nowadays money. If they just give me money.
But yeah, no Christmas stream because we're gonna take it off. Ryan's gonna be off on his birthday stuff, and we're all doing Christmas things. So yeah, I'll probably put a video up that day, or if I don't feel like it, I just won't.
Is this a re-upload? Just a re-upload the Aquaman Christmas special?
Maybe
you did years ago.
From Gatchamon Fighter, we got the Gacha Spartan. I love the Gacha Spartans so much. I don't know why I'm saying Spartan and not Spartan, but Spartan.
Spartan!
I love the design of this because this is like a multi-component combining jet. It's so
I see
cool.
this and I always wonder. I always see the design. I always wondered if Time Ranger took influence.
I think not just Jet Icarus. Jet Icarus is based on, because Jetman's based on Gatchaman. Jet Icarus is basically its ship form is basically based on the Gacha Spartan from Gatchaman Fighter, which was the 3rd show. It was Gatchaman, Gatchaman 2, and Gatchaman Fighter, and all elements from all of those made it into Chojin Sentai Jetman. So
Yep.
That's
why I like Jetman so much.
Let's see. From Detonator Organ, we got Organ.
Ooh, Organ.
Okay.
Yeah. Please, because I know there's a Gridman Universe thing in this reel. Yeah. Please note before we get to it, say spoilers before you, because it's a big spoiler for one of the big reveals.
Yeah,
Universe. I'll say that now.
I will get. Oh, okay. I forget where it is in the list. Let me go check. Because I did forget about that.
Well, technically there is 2.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh wait, 8. All right, it's after 8. We'll stop after 8 and we'll go back. All right. Moving on. We've got Stardate Tekken Man Blade.
I can't wait for this.
Yes.
I've been wanting a Tekken Man Blade figure for a long time, and like all the other ones were like either or I missed it. So I can't wait to get this one.
After the stream, play Tekken Man Blade's theme song "Reason."
Oh yeah,
you know what? The Japanese theme, the Japanese theme's good, but I actually really like the Saban Techno Man theme when they dub.
Oh yeah,
when they localize.
Yeah, my heart's always going to Reason.
Well, that's great also, but yeah, I can't wait for this figure.
It's good too. I ain't.
All right, next up.
And you can display it with your Capcom figures. The reclay Tokusatsu of the Capcom.
Yeah.
Did you know the guy yelling Volt Tekka broke the mic?
He broke the mic?
Yep. Wow. Hey, Reunite! That show I keep getting like when I do anime music quizzes.
Why does
Lord of Lords Reunite Ryu Chief Shine Baram?
I kind of feel like I need to watch it just because I keep getting it.
Why does he look like a beat-em-on?
He looks like a beat-em-on who's about to participate in the shaman fight. Or officiate the shaman fight.
Yeah.
We've also got Lord of Lords Reunite Dark Knight Steru. He looks really cool too. Very SD Gundam and like.
If they're doing that, I wonder if they're gonna do like Iron Leaguer or something.
Mm-hmm. I think they did. I don't remember if it was Good Smile or a different company did Iron Leaguer. I remember seeing Iron Leaguer figures a while ago. I forget
and then Musashi Road, that's the other one. That's like a SD robots.
Next up, we've got The Legend of the Heroes Trails of Cold Steel Motorride Argion the Silver Knight.
This is
Oh,
weird
boy.
because
So cool.
There's some people we know that are huge fans of Cold Steel.
Trailer Cold Steel is a RPG series made by
made by Falcom, Nihon Falcom. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's they did. I think this was either announced or just another mech from that game series.
Yeah.
A game series. But it's
There's
nice
no there's
they're
no
doing
prices, release dates, or pre-orders for any of these. These
You're
are just like
we're making them.
Yeah.
Like this is we're making them.
I still need to beat the game. I got gifted it. In
What version? What version you have? Steam or
Steam, yeah.
Yeah, what's nice about the Steam forwards, they have a fast forward button.
Yeah, I was told to make use of
Mhm.
that, and yeah, it's
from the same
More
series.
RPGs.
It's Iron Hood, the Steel Maiden. She is a Plamatea release, not a Modroid, because
It's because
she
she's
got
human.
flesh. She has flesh.
yeah, just a lot of armor though.
It is interesting that she's a. I haven't played much of the Cold Steel games. They're on my bucket list, but I know she's a enemy character, so it's interesting they're making a. This is for this game series first posable action figures because before Ghostwire just did statues.
Neat.
So interesting character to do. Not it's interesting they're not doing the protagonist of the games for a posable figure, but so it's nice to see for fans of the series.
All right, next up we have the Full Metal Damon Muramasa, the Shoshu Goru Nyodo Masamune. I am running phonetics today. My phonetic classes are paying off.
How does he move? He looks so fat. I love him.
Yeah. All right, next up from Shin Mazinger Zero versus Great General Darkness, the strongest Mazinger to ever exist, Mazinger Zero. I love Mazinger
But you already had him.
So no, that's the.
I got the figurized stand, or no, the high grade Infinity version. Yeah.
Oh.
So I forget. Is that totally who owns? Is it just Go Nagai's?
Go Nagai's Dynamic Productions.
Yeah, did they just throw the license to anybody? I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, you give them money, you can make anything. There's like 4 companies making Mazinger stuff. Mazinger Zero is so freaking cool, though. He rides that thing like a surfboard and then destroys the planet.
It's unfortunate because I got the high grade kit like months ago at a con, and I yet to build it. It's right here. I have it right next to me. I just haven't got time to build it. I've been meaning to build it.
Even though he's big, he still builds like a high grade. Like I did mine in like 2 hours.
Yeah, no, I love the Mazinger. I bought the Mazinger kit. I love that kit so much. I've just been meaning to. The Infinite line's been. It's a line that I've been meaning to pick up more because I love all the Mazinger mechs. I just sometimes I can't. I just don't have the money to afford all of them. I want to get Grendizer. I at least want to get like Grendizer. Because I want to at least get the main mechs of the series.
Muteki says, which is the better kit? You have to wait till this one comes out. The Bandai kit is a different design. This is more manga accurate, where the Bandai one's more stylized.
I can't say in terms of quality, if it's gonna be the same. But I got the Monoroid Mazen Kaiser Skull, and it's not bad, but it's not great. Yeah. It's okay. So you compare it to the Infinite kits. I kind of was expecting a bit better because I have other Monoroids, like the Dynazenon, and I got the Knights of Magic kit, and they're good kits. Just they're
getting better. They're getting better at it.
Yeah, I think the Mazakaiser Skull's an earlier kick from them. I think that's why it's not as good.
Yeah, and Bandai should make an Infinity Mazakaiser Skull. Jojo Star asks, when does Transformers Legacy Unite Wave 1 come out? It's out on Amazon, and other retailers are going to be getting it soon. And welcome, Goku. I was a little...
That's a phrase?
Oh no! You shouldn't say, "Hi, hey, it's me, Goku."
What up, Goku?
Not with my voice today. I'm still playing the game of is it allergies or is it a cold? We've got Modroid God Mazinger from God Mazinger, which is not one God that gets made. Yeah, God Mazinger is really
that show's opening and ending always throws me off.
Yeah,
I love this guy.
I'm like, what do you mean this is a robot anime?
I'm this guy. This guy designed. What was that one? Live action Tokusatsu
Daimajin.
I don't know why he gives me Daimajin vibes.
He totally does. It's literally the same premise as Daimajin. It's a moving statue. It's like
I guess it's
a statue that comes alive. Yeah.
I think he looks like a statue. He's a statue, but he looks like a suit. He didn't look like a mecha. He looks like a suit.
Yep. Mild spoiler for Gridman Universe. Sorry,
look away. If you
look away.
Look away. You want to be spoiler free.
Ooh, it's Full Power Grid Knight, which is
Love the design.
It keeping the Sentai vibe going with the repaint to match one other mecha component. But there's that. Okay, spoilers are over. I don't know how to.
This is gonna be my only chance to get him because the other one was stupidly a Good Smile store exclusive and impossible to get.
I'm waiting for an S&P because I'm a masochist. All right, Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains Motoroid Access Code Talker.
This was random because, like, you know, we're slowly getting 5Es and GX merch, but now all of a sudden we're getting re-rains.
Like, what's funny is didn't they make the Pro Tag from Vrains as a Figma?
Hold on, let me.
I remember that being a thing. I don't remember if it came out.
Let me look that up right now. Yu-Gi-Oh!
I remember. I'm glad this is coming out sound, and I actually use that card a lot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, okay, he did came out, so I guess that makes. I think this is his.
It's just been years.
I think this is his main, not his main, but one of his main monsters in the show.
Muteki, what's the attack? You want me to say access integration? Do you want me to say it like I watched like 60 episodes of Vrains? I can imitate it off memory if you guys. I don't think we need to do a poll. I think I can just go access integration.
I thought you guys said Flash.
No, my brain was trying to stop me from saying Flash.
Access, but I do love this guy's design.
Yeah.
No, it's a cool design, and he's a good card.
What other mecha like Yu-Gi-Oh monsters you want from Monoroid for you guys in the chat? Just like quick, like, you know, off the top of your heads.
Off the top of your head, what do you guys want as a what mecha Yu-Gi-Oh stuff?
Well, I forget the name of the monster, but the main Yuma from Arc 5, Zexel.
Yeah.
The white, like similar to looking at this guy actually.
Utopia?
The white look, he actually looked Utopia, the one that looks like Lancelot from Kogias. I always love that guy's design.
I definitely want like I want all the dragons from 5Ds. And a couple of them are more mecha-like.
I forget. I know we're getting the Yusei. Is someone making a Stardust Dragon? I forget if anybody's making a Stardust.
Not as a figure. Yet. All right. While you guys put those in, let's just go through a couple other things we probably don't know as well. Demon Bane Liber Legus.
Ooh, Demon Bane.
I remember playing that visual novel years ago. God, I just remember the main mech being having the mightiest of shins.
Yeah.
My God, this is like
it's a literal eldritch abomination. It's pretty.
This is peak mecha design because look at how thin that waist is.
Yeah. That's pretty great.
And he has them nub feet.
Peacemaker says there's a Sentai mech in Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's not in any show. Well, make that as a kit. That'd be fun.
I know what card he's talking about.
XYZ Dragon Cannon.
Yeah, that's one.
Or WXYZ, even in, you know, VW. Was there a VW XYZ? Was that a thing? I'm trying to remember how many letters they've slapped on that.
Yu-Gi-Oh! What was it?
I'm almost surprised they're still doing Demon Bane items.
Was it? What was it? V? X?
I think it was.
What was it?
I think it was VWXYZ.
VWXYZ.
Dragon Cannon.
Yep. Catapult. There's Catapult Dragon. There's Dragon Catapult Cannon.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my God. It looks like Digimon. My God.
Yeah, we should get kid of that.
The dragon crotch.
All right, from Majestic Prince, Motoroid Red 5.
Ooh. That's something I wouldn't expect.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, right?
For a lot of people.
Majestic Prince pretty popular. It got to.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
it wasn't with anybody I talked to.
It got recently into Super Robo Wars, and when I think it was in Super Wars 30, and that got really a lot of fanfare when they announced it was going to be in that game.
Nice. All right, I'm going to go check the list again to make sure I don't get to the next Gridman universe.
That's another one made by Gundam Seed guy, but he was just a character designer. It's actually based off a manga. The manga was actually written by the guy who wrote Get Backers.
Oh.
So I was like, oh.
From Yamato Takeru, we have Maku Seijin Susanna O's second form.
Yes! Glare intensifies.
He looks like a Mega Man or maybe the face, but got me Web Diver. I think it was like Web Divers. They
Web
have very
Diver,
humanoid
yeah.
faces. Yeah, I love this guy design.
You watch the show. The opening's great. It's done by Glay.
You showed me the opening before, and I'm like, yeah, that looks fun.
Yeah.
And, like circle around to it again.
You know what's the best? You know what's a game we should have done is how many shows got were released by Discotek.
That's true. Cameron's asking about my No Way Home Spider-Man sitting back here next to my His Tank. They are going to get reviewed. I don't know if they're going to get a separate like YouTube short, but they will be in the they will be in the rundown for sure.
Yeah, did you get both your questions? I know you got Death Source today. Did you get both the His Tank and Death Source at the same time, or
I got
I got
the His Tank on Friday, and then I got Death Saurus today. So pretty close. Actually, it's funny. Death Saurus' box is back there. He's sitting on my desk, and I do mean sitting because
he's in a chair.
He spends 90% of the show in this chair. I'm not taking him out of it. Yeah, there will be videos on the His Tank and Death Saurus. I guess I should have said this earlier, but like that's this week's videos. His Tank, Death Saurus. You guys will see those this week. It's like Haslab week.
I have I have an idea for Death Saurus, but we'll talk about it after stream.
All right, cool.
After stream.
Anyways, so let's go back to Psychos. There will be an unboxing for Death Saurus, and there will be a review. And then the His Tank is going to be an unboxing / review. So
Can I ask just a quick question about Death Saurus?
Sure.
It's the box better than Star Saber.
Miles better, way better. It's actually packed similar to the His Tank, which is kind of funny.
Because I know for people who got the United stuff, the card, even though it's still open with the cardboard's like a lot better now for the United stuff. So that's good at least.
JoJo Star asks, "Who's the strongest canonical Autobot?" That's a
Jeez.
Which continuity are we talking about? Because it depends which continuity we're talking about.
You really want to be power scaling now?
What do I have sitting on top of Spider? Nothing's sitting on top of Spider-Man. They're in front of a Batman box and then Death Saurus box.
I mean, Cybertron Optimus, because the power of anime is on his side, is really damn powerful.
That's true. All right. Speaking of anime, the S-Cried Kazuma second form Palmatea figure.
I love that show so much.
Yeah. That show's cool.
Look at him.
That looks better than the figure art.
Really, I remember when I saw
this was also the Hisashi Hirai seed guy.
Mm-hmm. I remember when seeing this he was a long time ago. I thought it was got me high school DxC vibes because that's the same kind of arm gauntlet design.
Oh, totally.
As that series, yeah.
All right. Then next up we have Gridman Universe or Gridman Universe Fighter from Gridman Universe. That's not a spoiler. Okay. That is just that has been out too much.
There's another Gridman Universe thing that's a spoiler.
If this is the first time you've ever seen Universe Fighter Gridman, you don't know Gridman. Like it's everywhere. It's the next one that's a big spoiler. He's a Figma, yes.
He's a Figma, right?
Yep.
This one I'll probably get because I actually really like the Gridman Figmas, and due to the fact of size scaling and the series that you want to have your Dynazen on and such next to Gridman while him making him look like a tiny mantlet. These Figmas are good scale. Were those?
All right. If you don't want to know about this, mute and look away for 30 seconds.
Because this was actually
it's the Gatai Deluxe Sounderus from Gridman Universe. That's all we're going to talk about it because it's kind of fun and looks great. But
I can't wait to get.
Right.
Is it the DX?
It's
scale?
the DX
what scale
line.
Is it?
It's the DX.
Okay.
The Gatai line.
I might get this.
That's the end of that. I think that was our 30 seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
30 seconds. Okay. Oh yeah, Godfire Convoy is probably up there on the power scaling.
Well, are we talking about like Godfire Convoy or Godfire Jinrai? Because
it depends. Okay, back over here. They're calling it Gridman Universe, but it's just the Gridman. Anyways, it's Max Combined Full Power Gridman DX. It's going to be a new version. That's probably a better version.
It's probably they're re-release because he's in. It's this form is in Gridman Universe, so
it's a re-release, but they're improving it because those older.
The original release was bad.
Yep. All right, and then And then we've got from the Brave Fighter of Sun Firebird, the Gatai Firebird. So this is going to be like a big deluxe thing. You know,
hey, you know that meme, that butterfly? Hey, do you know that butterfly meme you always guys see on Twitter? That's from this series.
It is
this series.
And that guy was asking good scientific questions, and then it became a meme.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also got Grandbird, also from Firebird, that'll be able to combine. I think those two combine, right?
Firebird.
and Grandbird.
Firebird's opening. Listen to Firebird's opening, people. It's a really good opening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so funny seeing the Firebird like butterfly scene in context because he goes around. He's like, "Oh, scientific exploration is about asking questions. Is this a tree? Is this a pigeon?" Like that's all he's doing. But it's just a funny visual.
Yeah. Al think he's stupid.
It's kind of like, and we're back to the top of the gallery. It's kind of like the classic meme of "I'm a healer, but," and it's a doctor holding a gun. And it's from Gundam X.
Yeah.
Also known as Legacy Evolution Medics. Yeah. So let's see. That was it for that mecha. Infinite. Oh, Infinite. I did see the information about the Sonic movie figs. We'll talk about them more when they're more concrete. I don't like talking about like list and listings information as much.
We literally only have listings.
I like physical images.
But they're not even like character listings. They're just placeholder like 5-inch figure.
All right, Grendizer U. We Jerry and I were just talking about this last week, right?
Yep. We will this.
We're like, whatever happened to that? We haven't heard anything about it. And then suddenly, boom, we got a trailer. It's coming out in 2024. We got the opening theme. We got characters. We got Ayane Sakura as Naida Baron. Yuma Uchida as Kasado Zila Whiter. You can see how white he is because he does not know how to wear clothing properly. We got Sho.
And it's his name, too.
Yeah.
Why does the girl look like Palutena Kickers?
Yep. Oh, as Tomo reminds everybody, is the last week for Godzilla -1. Please go see if you haven't seen it already. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it got extended. It got extended.
Yeah, extended. Sho Hayama as Ginosuke Yumi, Takia Kiramoto as Genzo Uman, and then Takahito Koasu as Gandalf, and ANN is trying to shame me into not using an ad blocker. Akino Watanabe as Lady Gandalf. Wataru Takagi as... You know, I'm just not going to say that one. And Tomokazu Seki as Zero. Plus the previously revealed cast of Murino's Duke Fleald, Hiro Shimono as Koji Kabuto, Sumari Uesaka as Sayaka Yumi, Naoto Yama as Hikari Makiba, Minami Tanaka as Grace Maria Fleald, and Haruka Tomatsu as Torona Aqua Vega and Rubina Beryl Vega.
I really, really hope that Koji Kabuto doesn't have a random British accent like he does in the game.
If he does in the dub.
Okay, well, because that game's recorded in the UK. That's why it was British in that game.
But he was the only one that was obviously British.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Was that game meant to tie in this, or at least not tie in, but more of like because I guess
it seems like it's related to the old anime, but also this.
It's more of like synergy, release synergy, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy for the new Grendizer anime. I hope we get like a
I wonder if Grendizer will come back as he used to be, like up there in terms of like you want to talk about power scaling again.
Soulman says Uesaka Sumire had a major role in Mazinger Infinity. Okay, so that's pretty cool. They're keeping things in the wheelhouse. All right, time to get on to the big story. I think this is the biggest story of the day. It's not the last story because I didn't want to bog it down. Real quick, Jojo Star says on the subject of Godzilla, how you feel about Monarch Legacy of Monsters? It's fantastic, and nobody's watching because it's on Apple TV.
It's on Apple TV. Yeah.
I legitimately will say that like I got like 3 free months of Apple TV, and like I can't even share it with my friends because it's all tied to my Apple ID, and I'm just like, ugh, Apple, why are you like this?
Yeah. I know.
But legitimately, I think it's the best thing the MonsterVerse has ever made, and like nobody's watching it because it's on a service nobody has. I got a free trial. And
what else is on Apple TV? It's that and Peanuts.
Pretty much. I haven't looked for anything else. There was a Velveteen Rabbit special I watched with my mom that was a really cool like blending of like animation and live action and stuff. I was pretty impressed by it. But yeah, Monarch. Oh yeah, For All Mankind's on there. I heard that's good. But again, I haven't had Apple TV before Monarch. Monarch's great. It's not like, it's not structured like the MonsterVerse movies usually are, with like the big monster fights. Like it's all, because it's a TV show, it's all structured around the characters, and it's really good. I really like it. It's interesting. It has the same formatting as Kamen Rider Kiva. I'm not kidding you. There's a story. There's like every episode has like the present day story, and then every episode also has a flashback story that takes place at some point in the past to add context to the current events, and it all kind of weaves back and forth. And Kurt Russell and his son play the same character. It's great. Because his son is playing like the younger version of him. It's really cool. I really like it. Jeremy Carson's my only intro with Monarch. Look at the Monarch is the intro is so damn loud. It really is. I always have to like turn it down and then it just
is it like
click it back up.
PS1? It's like PS1 startup boot sound loud.
Yeah, pretty much. Or like the BBC logo in front of Doctor Who episodes on HBO Max.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. Yeah, no, yeah, Muteki, it is his son playing his younger self. It's not CG. They do these great transitions where they'll fade from like present day to the past, and it'll just be like, oh, there he is. It's really cool. I have a good thing. I hope that gets a Blu-ray release. I hope they're like, we spent a lot of money on this. Let's make some money. Let's put a Blu-ray out. Yeah, Sean's Toy Room. I've had internet problems recently too.
I must say,
I've had it all week.
Thankfully, looks like so far we haven't got any issues so far.
Yeah, we have switched to Firefox and text edit as opposed to Chrome and Notes, and so far OBS is liking it. So let's get to Star Trek before anything goes wrong.
I wonder what's with Max and memory leaks, because you and I both had this kind of issue.
All right.
You know what's the best part? I want to say this one thing. You know what's the best part about the Figma Samus magnet thing? My desk has a bunch of metal on it, so I could just literally stick the Samus on the metal pad on my desk.
Yeah, I had to stick mine on my fridge, and then I was afraid she was gonna get knocked off when someone was like grabbing milk. So, all right, yeah. Oh, you know what? Sean's Toy Room said, "Who here has collected the new figures?" I'm gonna make that a poll. Star Trek poll. We're on the Star Trek. All right. So, did you buy any new? Let's just put in like new Playmates Star Trek, and I'll run this while we talk about it. It's going to be yes, no.
I'll say I have never seen the Prodigy figures.
Thought about it. Didn't do it. Not interested.
Does this count like the ships and the roleplay stuff?
Yeah, this includes everything. Ships, figures, everything. It'll be yes. It'll be thought about, didn't do it, not interested, and then the no will be didn't make what I wanted. So start and poll. Yeah, I never saw the Prodigy figures in person. Myself, I bought mine on Amazon. There's the poll. Enjoy it. We'll run that as long as we're talking about the story, and then we'll end the poll at the end. But let's talk about this. So first things first, let's get to the facts. TrekCore.com reports this. Another YouTuber, Keith and Mike Entertainment, they do a lot of Star Trek Playmate stuff. They reported it first. But the official word from the Playmates press contact is, given lower than expected figure sales, Playmates Toys is focusing on producing...
I wonder why.
Yeah. Playmates Toys is focusing on producing new ships and roleplay items for the foreseeable future, as longtime Trek fans were disappointed. So the problem here is that they're saying, oh, we're producing ships and roleplay still. They just released an Enterprise D and an original series communicator, but we know nothing else coming. So let's, and then Trek Core goes on to talk about like how Super 7 didn't mention anything about Star Trek in their New York Comic Con display, and maybe they're done with that. So let's discuss, how we feel about this, but let's talk about what actually came out, let's flash back all the way back to
The beginning was it the beginning of this year or the beginning
when did this
near
start?
the end of last near the end of last year? I want to say. Hold on, when did you make that video?
Let's go check my video history because that'll actually tell us. That'll give us a timeline because I talked
What's the
about all
timeline?
this.
You're the only YouTuber that I know that like actually kept up with this line.
It was me and then Keith and Mike Entertainment were like the only two channels that ever covered it. And that's the kind of thing that's just kind of insane to me too, is that like the interest. The thing is, the videos did really well, so there was clearly interest, but the videos did not do well enough to like, obviously there wasn't enough interest in the line. So let me pull up my video list here. So I did, let's see, part one of my retrospective. Let's press switch screens. Part one of my Playmates retrospective documentary was done right after the announcement they were bringing it back. That was 2 years ago. That was August of 2021. The first news of when they were revealed, it says a year ago. Let's see what the actual date was. That was January 24th, 2022 is when we actually got the reveals. And that was for the first wave, which contained the 8 figures, the ship, the phaser, and there was something else. I forgot there was something else. There was ship phaser. Yeah, it was just ship phaser figures. That was it. Then we got an update where they showed the Prodigy figures a few months later. Then the first review I did was this video, and I got them like the second they came out. This video was August of 2022. That was when Wave 1 hit of 8 figures. And then we waited and waited and waited. I did the 2022 wrap-up video.
Then the Prodigy... Also, the Prodigy figures got delayed.
The Prodigy figures got delayed, and they eventually came out April 21st, 2023. So around April 2023, the Prodigy figures actually came out. And then that's it. There was the Enterprise D and the communique that came out about a month ago. That's it. It was 8 live action figures, 4 Prodigy figures, 2 ships, 2 roleplay items, and they just gave up.
One supposedly canceled wave of Prodigy.
There was the Janeway that we saw that was canceled. There was a Rock Talk and a Protostar, and a Prodigy phaser that were planned on the website. That also doesn't exist. They just don't exist. We never saw them. We do know there were supposed to be 3 more Prodigy toys at minimum because there was 3 unreleased codes for the Prodigy video game that Outright Games released themselves on Twitter. They put those codes out on Twitter, and that's when I was like, that's not a good sign at all. Prodigy being canceled by Paramount Plus and being shopped eventually to Netflix also was not a good sign. And I think we should talk about where Playmates went wrong. Or just...
everything.
I don't know if everything's wrong, but Jerry, since you're the resident hardcore Star Trek fan that knows more than the rest of us, more like you follow this kind of more casual, right? So
yeah.
What do you think of an assortment where it's 3 TNG guys, 3 Wrath of Khan figures, and 2 Discovery figures? Does that feel fresh and exciting?
Not at all.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think, where we got off on the wrong foot, is this lineup here.
Why are they doing the Lightning Collection thing?
Yeah.
I don't think it was a bad idea for legacy figures and new figures together, but like maybe it should have been 2 of the most popular Star Trek things like ever right next to the new show. It should have been like, I don't know, TNG, Voyager, or DS9 and Discovery. Like figures that like TNG. Look, they're always gonna do TNG no matter, because it's your MMPR. It's your that's the one everybody knows. But
true.
like, I forget. Well, Playmates stop before DS. What was the last series?
Playmates got all the way through Voyager, and then they stopped before Enterprise.
Yeah, they should have done like DS9 or Enterprise figure. Was DS9? Yeah. Did they do DS9? I forget.
They did DS9. They did Voyager. But here's the thing: they only did Voyager, early Voyager. They didn't do any of the later Voyager. They only made their 7 of 9 was only a mail away or an exclusive to Australia.
It should have been. There should have been 6 repeats. It is 6 repeats, right?
Well, yeah, because we have a Playmates Data, Picard, and Riker. We have a Playmates Kirk in this uniform. We have Khan in this look, and we have a Spock. This Spock was not in this look in the Playmates line, but it's Spock, you know. And then here's my problem too. By the time that Discovery, these figures came out in 2022, Discovery had already switched uniforms twice since. These were the season 1 appearances of Saru and Burnham, as opposed to the season 4 looks that had already extended, been around for a long time. These were so out of date. And then, not to mention, Hallmark made a Saru and Burnham ornament. Mego made a Saru and Burnham Mego figures in these looks. Funko made Saru and Burnham in these looks. They're the only 2 Discovery characters that got merch. And
are they the main I never watched Discovery. Are they the main characters?
They're the main characters in a way, because they are like essentially captain and first officer eventually, because Discovery is a little weird on the formatting, and characters don't they start in different places. But the thing is that, Burnham hasn't had that hair, in physical time in 5 years. Like, that's not what she looks like anymore. They don't wear these uniforms anymore. Burnham became captain after 3 seasons of the show, but yet here she is coming out as a commander figure. So it felt like they were out of date. Not to mention, the other main characters of Stamets and Tilly and Culber, who have been there since the beginning as well, they haven't ever had any toys. Ever. And so the fact that, and also it felt really weird. 3 Wrath of Khan, 3 TNG, 2 Discovery. Why not a 3rd Discovery? Be it Tilly or Stamets or somebody that we hadn't ever seen before, to show some commitment. Not to mention
consistency. Like,
consistency.
How come Discovery gets only 2? Why Discovery get 2 figures while the other 2 get 3?
Right. And then on top of that, in the US, we got stuck with these retro cards that aren't the same size as the retro cards for Wrath of Khan and for TNG. The retro cards weren't the same size, completely different size. Not to mention, the figures themselves are bigger than the original figures, so these don't blend with the old figures. And then at that point, if you're looking at the new lineup, they're $13 a piece, but you can get Picard, Data, and Riker on eBay for $5 to $6 shipped.
Wait, you said US. Does that mean in international they're different packaging?
Yes. So in the UK and other markets, the 3 TNG and the 3 Wrath of Khan figures are in the same style packaging as the Discovery.
Because if I remember right, the Discovery package wasn't even specifically Discovery. It was like Star Trek Universe.
Yeah, it was Star Trek Universe. And so the others were in that in other regions, but in the US they were on retro cards.
Okay, that's already a problem, because it kind of makes it's not false advertising, because they weren't. It's not like Playmates when they say the original 19 blank figures, but still, it's like
they seem retro style, but they're modern figures with modern styling, not the retro style figures, which a lot of and then for me as well, like a lot of collectors were like, there's nothing new here except for the Discovery figures, and they don't go with the old collection very well because there's the scale issues.
The old characters are nice figures from what I've seen, but I don't think when people want new Star Trek figures, they don't want right away the characters there. Well, at least if we're going to these 3 characters, one of the 3 different outfits that was never done in the original Playmates run. But again, that might be the problem where
only Spock was a new outfit that the original Playmates run didn't do.
Is there? Because I'm pretty sure there has to be outfits they haven't done with these other characters outside. Yeah. So.
Oh, totally were. For example, like with the Wrath of Khan figures, right? Why was it Kirk and Spock in Wave 1? Why not Kirk and McCoy? Because we never got McCoy in this uniform, or Kirk and Uhura in this uniform. Why is there only one woman? Why is there only one alien character? Like.
Yep.
That's also ridiculous.
It's all the dude. It's all just basically white dudes.
It's all white dudes, and then Ricardo Montalban bringing a little bit of color, but
yeah. Whereas I swear they didn't do Worf for TNG,
right.
I know Riker's popular, but people love Worf. One Klingon, and no Borg. I think that's also the problem with this assortment. is all
It's
the Enterprise people. No Borg, no.
What you said earlier, Soundout, about me being casual is true, but like, in my point of view, it's baffling. Like, why would you like? And by casual, I mean the toy part.
Yeah.
It's baffling. Why would you even? I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything Ryan said, I'm just like, yeah, you could go all day, but yeah, like, why is basically the entire the TLDR is why.
Yeah.
And also
it's like they were shooting themselves in the foot. I don't know.
Also, the release schedule was awful. The release schedule.
Like, the fact it took almost a year from reveal to release, and then it took like months and months and months for the Prodigy figures to come out as well. And here's the thing too: they just straight up lied. They were like, "Oh, these figures will be available online in this month, and then they'll be in stores this month." And I found most of my figures in stores before they're ever available online, even though there's pre-orders.
And that's not even like, a broke street day like most Hasbro things.
No, they were late. They were consistently late. The Entertainment Earth page said they're going to show up in May. They didn't ship till August.
It's also baffling that the Prodigy figures were so late because they made they got the license because of.
Before we get to I do want to do a separate discussion about how they failed Prodigy, but let's talk about the first assortment from 1992.
I mean, I think every upper management failed Prodigy, sadly.
Yes. Before we get to that part, let's go back. Let's stick with the legacy stuff for a moment. The problem here, like, let's look at the original first wave of the original 12 from 1992. We had Picard in his captain's jacket, which is a different look than a standard uniform. We got Deanna Troi. Good. That's at least one woman. We got Data. We got a Romulan. Worf, a Ferengi, Riker, Gowron, who's a Klingon, Geordi, and a Borg. We didn't get Dr. Crusher in Wave 1, which was kind of weird because she was the only main cast member we didn't get. But alternatively, we got 4 alien characters. And then each of the figures came with different accessories. Whereas another problem with the modern figures is they come with the same accessories between all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's just, there's a lot more variety here. And that's what the Playmates line was really good at, was the variety of these figures.
For like non-Trekkie people who in the chat, think if there was a Star Wars, it was like all like Jedi and like hunters, but no wacky alien dudes, for example. Or for Doctor Who, it was all like doctors, companions, but no like Dalek, Cybermen, and all that such. No alien creatures.
And I saw something people were saying online about the retro, how they look retro, right?
Yeah.
I saw something. Some retro collectors were saying that they were like, why they didn't buy them. Another thing, they were like, okay, it looks retro, but apparently like. Because they're modern, it's too modern for them, but not modern enough for modern collectors.
They're not retro. It just because
they are legitimately modern figures in retro packaging.
Right. So actual retro collectors are like, I ain't getting that. That's too modern looking. And the modern collectors like, I ain't getting that. That's too retro looking.
Yeah, because if you look at them, like the Mutant Mayhem Playmate stuff, it looks like that. Like this looks like this line. It's just normal figures. It's not like meant to look like retro styling or anything. Like they're just modern figures.
The He-Man figures fix this problem with the having retro card, but the thing says retro look but
new
modern play.
Yeah.
And while those have more articulation, they still fit. You could put an Origins Master of the Universe figure with the vintage line.
They're the same scale.
Yep.
Like, it's just the Origins figures can stand up.
Here's a hypothetical. The mixed series assortment, which was from 1990, I forgot what year this was. I did all the research. This was like 1995 or something. They started putting everything under one banner, and they just released a bunch of characters. What they should have done was something like this, but then it was like, here's this card back in this size, because, this size, and then what if the figure was like Michael Burnham or Captain Archer or somebody, and then it's like, oh, I have a bunch of these carded. Let me buy this carded figure because it'll look good with them. Even if the figure's more modern, if the packaging was the right size, it would go with it. And that's something that I think about too is they sort of made the faux attempt to make them fit with the vintage, as opposed to really going all in, right?
Well, that's also the big question. What was the demographic? What was Playmates' ideal demographic for this line?
I do want to bring up a good point from Logic Blaster real quick before we get to the demographic thing. Logic Blaster said Mego did the retro Star Trek stuff correctly. They look very similar to their 1970s counterparts. Exactly. I bought a Chekhov and Sulu from the modern line and put them with the vintage Megos we had, and they fit because it's the same style. But let's talk demographics. What was the reason they got the license? Prodigy. Why were the Prodigy toys the second wave? Also, why were the Prodigy toys... Also, why were the Prodigy toys for the kids? Why were these figures out months after season 1 ended, which would have been almost, I think, what was it? The show, I calculated out. The show was on air for 2 Christmas seasons with no toys. It was out there, it was on air, it was on Nickelodeon, the network even. 2 Christmas seasons, no toys. And then the toys finally came out, and all they did was put out 5 of the 6 main kids, which is only 5 of the 7 main characters. And, guess what? They haven't looked like this, except for the beginning of season 1. Because in episode 3, they get comm badges. In episode 9, they get uniforms. At the end of season 1, they look completely different. Murph evolve, digivolves throughout in the season. And Zero gets a brand new body. So why would kids look at this after... So for the small group of kids that actually did watch Prodigy, they go look at the toys and they'll be like, oh, that's the old versions of them. I don't want those.
You think that'll be gold mine for players because they love variants. You think
exactly.
You can still do these designs with them, but then you can do the Captain Fleet uniform version, the combat version with different accessories. It's gold mine.
But instead, these are based on the original poster art, and yet came out after season 1 finished airing, all 20 of its episodes across a year and a half.
It's like one of these where why did these get delayed? Because these, I guess because they have more I'm not sure it's because they had more complex paint. But even the Mutant Mayhem stuff came out on time.
Yeah,
and they had
and that movie didn't even get delayed. I understand maybe not getting these out when the first batch of episodes dropped, but there was a 7-month gap between episodes.
Compared to Earthspark, I think the toys came out during the second batch release, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were out by the second batch.
So it can't be, it's not just batch releases because Star Trek does a similar batch release with Earthspark. So I don't know what's going on there. And again, I saw these nowhere. There's no because it was weird also because I'm not sure it's a Target decision or a Playmates decision, but the Star Trek stuff were usually in the collector's section.
That was a Target decision because there wasn't enough product to justify it on the main shelf.
Can't blame them. It's so tiny.
Spin Dash says toy companies have been terrible at syncing product to media in recent years. Absolutely, but yet, Definitely. Like we said, Mutant Mayhem, the toys are out.
The Sonic Prime toys came out in the second batch. So even if it's not on time, at least it's in a window time. If it was like a streaming show, they usually come around the second batch at the very least.
Masters of the Universe Revelation. The Masterverse figures were out the week that the show premiered.
I think for the CG show, they came around the same time. I think it wasn't the same day, but it was definitely around the same time.
Dustin Simeo says, why can't anyone make a significant toy line for Star Trek these days? I want copious amounts of starships and don't want to deal with the pain in the neck that are the Polar Lights models.
Why don't you bring up the starships?
Good thing you bring up the starships because according to Playmates, it's the only things that sold.
I think what is, sadly, is I think
But also, can I add that we've gotten the most boring options for ships and roleplay.
Yeah.
It's the TOS Enterprise, the Enterprise D, the TOS Phaser, and the TOS Communicator. I already have all those before this even started.
People wanted the Protostar. They're not getting it.
Yeah, people want... Where was the Protostar for Prodigy, right?
I think what it is with Star Trek is that the problem is with Star Trek with toys is the main demographic for Star Trek nowadays are just adults.
Mm-hmm.
And, Prodigy, Prodigy was a great kids, entry line, but that every company decided to poo on that show for some reason. So that was denied. So I think the problem because I don't know, of course, when it comes to Star Trek and toys, I think a lot of times companies don't see eye to eye with it, because I feel like a lot of times when adult fans of Star Trek want to get toys, they always get the old stuff because it's like dirt cheap now. They get them all. They don't want to borrow. Like, yeah, I could get some of the new high end stuff, like what Haya is making.
Yeah,
but like
Haya Toys is doing some cool stuff, and they're the most affordable now in the market. But $25 for a 4-inch figure is a lot.
But here's the thing. That sounds good if you look at modern. But if you're a casual fan, you see complete TNG crew for only like, I don't know, $20 for the complete set of TNG Playmates. That I think they would rather take that because that's the whole crew. Like if you're a casual Star Trek fan, I'm like, oh man, I want a figure representation of the TNG crew. Go to eBay, find like a cheap lot. Like they probably don't even care. They come with no accessories. They just want them and instant buy.
They can't hold the accessories anyways.
Yes, I think that's the problem with Star Trek.
Adding to this, Infinite says Playmates is really out of touch. For example, like you said, Ryan, you can get the TNG crew pretty cheap. You know who you can't get pretty cheap? The Voyager crew. You know what's one of the more expensive normal release figures in the line that has, that was just a standard retail release? Captain Janeway. That Playmates Prodigy Janeway could have sold really, really well if they actually released it. Because that's the problem. Like, that was a figure that a lot of people were looking forward to because they couldn't get the original Janeway. That's still one of the hardest figures to get. And here's the thing, too, that adds to it. If we're discussing, making stuff that people want, stuff they never touched, figures that were rare like Janeway, people would go for that. Not the most boring lineup of characters you could possibly do, because these are all the people that get merch from all the companies all the time. And that's, and to circle back around, like Cal said at the beginning of this discussion, the Lightning Collection method, right? Here's a wave with 3 from one thing, 3 from another, 2 from another. Not, where's the guarantee that you're going to see Worf, Crusher, Deanna, and Geordi to round out your TNG? Are you going to see Uhura and Sulu and Chekhov and Scotty to round out your Wrath of Khan? Right? What,
SSG4 Jason with the Simpsons reference.
Yeah.
Am I so out of touch? No, it's a collector's
wrong.
And so I think that that's kind of the problem that we have, is that, people collecting Star Trek are collecting it like Power Rangers fans collect stuff. It's teams, Star Trek is a character-driven franchise, and it's all about the interaction between characters. And yet, as you can see from this display here, they didn't finish a single crew. And there was an easy one right there with Prodigy. I don't know why the Prodigy wave was only 4 figures. Why was it not 6? Why was Rock Talk and Janeway not part of it, especially after all the delays, right? And it got delayed so much that the show got canceled, which means the show never benefited from any of the toy money, and the toys didn't hardly get out there anyways. And so again, we go back to the demographic problem. Kids will probably care about these Prodigy figures, right? If they came out on time, because kids move on from things pretty quick. These figures up here, no kid cares about, because as it's advertised in the package, TNG's 35th anniversary, Wrath of Khan's 40th anniversary, and Discovery is a TVMA show that was celebrating its 5th anniversary when the figures came out. This is not a kid-friendly lineup. Kids don't even know who any of these people are.
And and I don't think kids can easily get into those things because they're very adult.
Wordy. They're very wordy.
Yeah, wordy. Yeah.
Because the thing is that, as a kid, because I think I've talked about this, in my Star Trek viewing guide. As a kid, I watched Star Trek, but it was things like First Contact or the movies that were more action-based. But I wasn't really super into it.
That wasn't me.
I wasn't super into it until I got to be like late high school, when I was like, oh yeah, now I want to watch it. And I'm sitting there watching TOS, where like the story's playing out mostly through dialogue. It's not easy getting like young kids into Star Trek, but Prodigy had that potential. But again, Paramount mismarketed it. Playmates failed on the toys. I don't even know if Playmates had the license in time. It wouldn't surprise me if Paramount was late to getting the license signed, and so that's what caused part of the delay. But the thing is that, kids don't care about the initial 8 figures that came out. And
Hold on.
if you're doing four ages 4 and up figures at mass retail, you got to have some kind of kid appeal, and it doesn't exist for those. And then, like we said, for collectors, it's like a fresh start on a line that we wish was just continuing from where it left off, and there was cheaper alternatives for figures that had complete sets. So, who were these for? Is really the question at the end of the day, right? Anybody got any thoughts expanding on that?
Yeah, no, I think you just hit the nail. No, this is like the most poorly, this is the most poorly managed line I've seen since, oh no, Hasbro Yokai Watch. I've seen it in a while,
Yeah.
seeing it live while it's going. Because my God, I had never seen it was.
It's
God,
nice to be like really honest about this because I've been trying to stay optimistic about this line as I covered it, but my energy was dwindling.
I
Especially
know.
finding
Right?
out that Wave 2 was going to get us some more interesting stuff.
What was Wave 2? What
Wave
was Wave
2
2
was
gonna be?
going to be Strange New Worlds, Pike and Spock, which really should have been in Wave 1 because that show was hot. It still is. Q, who was on all the toy packaging with the little QR code thing. 7 of 9, which would have sold gangbusters like Janeway because of popularity and lack of toys. It would have had Worf and Geordi. Still, again, no Crusher and Troy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was it. I think that was the whole lineup. And they were shown at a German comic Toy Con. And then they just
Like
never...
how far were they? Were they prototypes or like
They were
practically final?
prototypes. They were on display. There's no
Okay.
clear images of them, though. Just blurry shots. And there never will be clear images at this point.
Someone steals
Unless
those
Varner
molds.
Studios is just like, screw it, here's the prototypes we sculpted. Sean's Toy Room says I collected the new line because I remember the vintage line from the mid '90s. I'm in my mid '40s. Yeah, I mean I'm almost 30, and I collected it because my parents collected it, like when they were dating and stuff. But Infinite says I'd rather NECA handle Trek toys. Yeah, the thing is, I think NECA would do it. Like I would believe NECA would put out a complete set. Super 7, I thought so too, but then when Guinan got canceled due to low sales, I realized the market just isn't there to support something like that. And kind of just in general too, this modern 4-inch line doesn't work for the retro collectors because it's not retro enough, and it doesn't work for modern toy collectors because it's not 6-inch scale, tons of accessories, better likenesses, that kind of thing.
It's not a good kids line because what kids would know these guys besides the
Exactly,
prototype
yeah,
figures?
and just like as we said, what kids are going to care about 40-year-old characters and modern characters from a show they're not allowed to
It's
watch
not.
due to the rating.
It's not like compared to like the Japanese video game stuff where any people can get to. Like they have
Yeah.
a good nice combination of kids and collectors in mind. This is like I don't know what market this was for.
Mm-hmm. It would seem like Playmates wanted to do one line to cover both markets as opposed to doing 2 lines. There should have been a collector's line as well.
Playmates is a history of not doing. They cannot handle collectors lines.
Yeah,
Their
they
collector
can't.
figures are not good.
And so we're kind of at the point of Hia Toys is doing all those really cool Kelvin figures for collectors, and they say they got the license for all Trek, so they're going to do more. I hope those do well. I'm going to buy them. I'm going to support them because I know Hia Toys is great, but they're expensive for 4-inch figures,
Mhm.
but they'll be good. Sean's Toy Room asks, what's your favorite new Star Trek show? Discovery, Picard, Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, or Prodigy? I really like all of them. I'm also kind of like, I guess I'm a Trek apologist. I like all the shows, but I legitimately do.
I'm actually kind of curious how they will handle lower deck figures.
Yeah, they had the thing is when they announced this line, they said they had the license to Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds and Discovery and Picard, and then we just never saw anything. But I'd say probably
would
my
they? Would
favorite.
they?
I
Would
think
they be
probably my
animation
favorite of the
accurate?
modern shows is probably Strange. Like it's probably Lower Decks. I really like Lower Decks a lot, but I really love
For the
Picard
lo-
season 1 and 3, and I love
I do.
Discovery though. I do. I really like
You think
Discovery, but
if they ever do lower deck figures, would they do animation accurate, or be like when they cross over with Strange New World and it's based off the actors' likenesses?
I don't know because they probably like this line was dead before that crossover even came out.
Well, if he had toys are doing now,
Yeah. SSJ4
what do you
Jason,
think?
perfect comment. Playmates should have known that if you try to appeal to everyone, you appeal to no one. 100%. Don Ranger Power loves the first 2 seasons of Discovery more than the recent 2. I kind of like the future, like the stuff that happens in season 3 and 4 a little bit more because it's a little bit fresher. But I love Discovery's cast. You know, I love that cast. Cameron says, who's your favorite Star Trek character of any of them? Oh, that's a hard question. I'm just gonna answer Rios from Picard because he's like somebody I want more of. There was a book that was like, here's the backstory on Rios, and it was 400 pages. I read it in like 3 days because I love that character. I don't know if he's my favorite of all time, but he's just like really good. Infinite, do you think we'll ever learn what happened to the E? Probably in some book or comic series at some point. Don and Ranger Powerless scores from Star Trek. Saru's great, yeah. Captain Saru's a great character. Do you think a collaborative Star Trek Transformer could exist? Yes, but I don't think they'll do it because of the problems we have.
Where is Tiberius Maximus?
Yeah, exactly. There is one in the Star Trek Transformers comic, but again, I don't know if it'll happen at this point. Yeah, I love that Mego. I love that Mego Saru more than the Playmates one. The head just looks better on it. The Playmates one just kind of has like a weird stare to it. Infinite says favorite Captain Janeway. I love Janeway. I love Cisco too. I mean, I think DS9 is my favorite Star Trek show overall. There's a comic, JoJo Star. There are so many Star Trek comics right now, but specifically the current 2 Star Trek books, Star Trek and Defiant, are doing something that the comics never have done before, and they have an ongoing continuity that takes place between the end of Voyager and Nemesis. There's like a 2-year gap, and they're building out and having like these crazy things where like the ships.
Hey, Senna,
Yeah.
we got breaking news about Hasbro.
All right, give me one moment. The current Star Trek comics are doing this cool thing where there's 2 ships, and they're a mixture of characters from multiple different shows, and they're all kind of interacting with each other. And like one ship is like captained by Cisco, and one's captained by Worf, and Worf's got all like the renegade people like B'Elanna Torres and Ensign Ro, Laren, and Spock's on his ship, and then like Scotty's on the Cisco ship with Tom Paris, and they had Shax from Lower Decks on there for a bit. The Star Trek comics right now are so good. So good. As Thomas said, hit the like button.
Yeah, so I put the breaking news in the stream chat.
Okay. So I had to get up. Did you talk about Super 7 yet?
Sort of. We kind of touched on Guinan didn't sell. And if I'm going to be honest, I had pre-ordered all the Super 7 figures, but I canceled all of them. I canceled all of my Super 7 Star Trek figures because Guinan wasn't happening. I just don't have any. It's not Super 7. It's again. Are you kidding me? All right. First, sorry, I just read this news.
I put the sigh emoji there.
Okay. Captain Cisco. I do have that Captain Cisco Mego figure. That was pretty great. Let's go through the couple comments. Thank you, Toma, for gifting another membership. Jamie's World got the membership this time. So do we have any other thoughts on the Star Trek thing before we talk about this Hasbro thing?
I think you hit the nail.
Pretty much just also Super 7 is probably killing it too.
The thing is, I can't blame them. If the sales aren't there for Whoopi frickin' Goldberg, then the sales aren't going to be there for Wesley Crusher. And thank you, Toma, for gifting another membership. We appreciate you. All right. I think, is that the end of the Star Trek thing? I'm going to end the poll.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I think, like JoJo Star said earlier, it's 50% normal stream, 50% ranting about Playmates. I wanted to talk about this.
And now Hasbro.
Cameron says, how do you feel about a Star Trek and TMNT crossover?
Have they done one yet?
They did one in the 90s, and I wish that it happened again. Toma says she can gift another if we get to 25 likes. Please.
Come on, people.
By the way,
I'm trying
Turtles crossover Power Rangers, so hey, why not?
Exactly. I want them to do a comic. IDW's got both licenses right now. Like, let's do it. Paramount owns both franchises. Let's go.
You're right.
Where's the comic version?
What was it? Those those toys of the Mutant Mayhem Turtles and the costumes. Wasn't that a cutscene for the movie? I heard,
It was,
right?
yeah. And so there is a Spock
Or
Donatello.
Donnie.
Here's okay. Yeah, this poll tells us everything we need to know. Did you buy any of the new Playmates Star Trek? 41% said not interested. 25% said yes. 20% thought about it, didn't do it, and 12% didn't make what I wanted. Total of 24 votes. I appreciate your input, guys, because it gives us a good measure of things. So
yeah, honest, actual honest. Like,
all right. I was going to do this like good news, bad news thing, but I think before we talk about the Hasbro toys, what the hell, Hasbro? They're cutting another 1,100 jobs.
This is breaking news. This article came an hour ago from the Wall
And I
Street
can't even
Journal.
read the whole thing because I don't have a subscription. This is December 11th, 2023, 5:37 p.m. Eastern. CEO Chris Cox, really putting his last name to work here, says challenging conditions expected to stretch into next year. He already laid off 1,000 people at the beginning of this year, and right before Christmas, he's cutting 1,100 more jobs. Are you kidding me? I just watched Scrooged last night. Can he be visited by 3 ghosts? Because what the hell?
So I have another article. I think it's another news source that's I think that's the same
that
article
I can actually read.
Yeah, it's from the Guardian. It's from the Guardian.
Guardian. Okay, holy cow, do I hate this company? Guys, I say, oh, I hate Hasbro. Look at all my freaking Marvel Legends. I am so sick of the management at Hasbro. This is getting ridiculous. They have cut 2,100 jobs out. They only have like 3,500 employees. They've cut most of their employees now. Like, this isn't like, because they have all these branches and stuff, but this is like the in-house, like, Hasbro people. Sean Storyroom, I'm sorry to hear about getting fired right before Christmas 15 years ago. Right before the unemployment offices be closed. That is, it's why it's evil to do things at this time of year.
That's all I'm saying. But he can't cut any of his own benefits. How else he's gonna keep paying for on his mansion?
I want to read that again. Kilma says, but he can't cut any of his own benefits. How else he's going to keep paying his mansions and all? Exactly.
Right. What? Do you have the read article?
All right.
The Guardian.
The Guardian. Toy maker Hasbro lays off 1,100 staff as holiday season fails to lift sales. Manufacturer Monopoly, Play-Doh, and Transformers cuts workforce by almost 1/5 as last resort. Had you ever consider, Hasbro, the company I'm kind of pissed at about financially at the moment, that you should release less toys, drop the prices, and then decide if you need to cut employees? This is not the solution. You're selling 6-inch action figures for $25 a piece. You got Transformers that aren't worth $25 a piece for $25. Commander classes are $90. There is so much money rolling around in this company, and yet their only solution they seem to be is just cutting their staff, which is just going to make the products worse, because remember when they cut a bunch of the people from the Lightning Collection? Look how that turned out. I'm getting way too heated on this one stream. I'm sorry.
No, it's fair. No, this one's fair because this is especially before Christmas. This is
right before Christmas. They say these headwinds will persist in 2024. I freaking hate corporate executives. All corporations are evil. I say that all the time, and none of them ever try to prove me wrong.
Oh God, I'm reading. Chris Cox, a chief executive, describes the move as a lever we must pull to keep Hasbro healthy after challenges is endured.
Have they considered releasing less product and lowering the prices to bring up sales?
Let's see. The company is also braced for these headwinds to persist in 2024. Let's see. Let's see. While we confident in the future Hasbro, the current environment demands that we do more. Even if these choices are some of the hardest we have to make, Cook wrote in the email sent by the Guardians.
Daniel Falconer. Well, I guess Black Series figures has 0 accessories now instead of most of them. Yeah, how about the fact Morgan Elsbeth comes with nothing and most of the figures don't have thigh swivels anymore, yet they're still charging $25.
More quote. I'm reading more quotes.
If it says, sound out, this may be a sign that Hasbro is sinking worse than Titanic. I'm on that board right now. What the hell is going on at this company?
I'm assuming this is another quote from Chris. I know this dude is especially difficult during the holiday season. He acknowledged, adding that it was no sugarcoating how hard this. Well, the Guardians ripping apart. I'm sure more readers. I like the Guardians ripping them apart.
I appreciate the Guardian just going. I am disgusted. I don't even want to talk about the Transformers and G.I. Joes now, if I'm going to be totally honest. I don't even feel like talking
Let's
about it.
see.
Because I just feel like
Sure.
that's promoting stuff for them, and I don't really want to do that right now.
Let's see. It struggled contrast with the success enjoyed by rival Mattel, which was boosted by the blockbuster release of Barbie based on Assault, while shares in Mattel has risen above almost 6% this year. Hasbro stock has fallen more than 21% as grappled with the slowdown in sales.
Movie studios shouldn't have gotten involved in Wall Street, and toy companies shouldn't have gotten involved in being entertainment companies.
Cox says, we enter 2023 expecting a year of change, including the significant updates to our leadership team, structure, and scope of operations. We anticipate the first 3 quarters to be challenging, particularly in toys, where the market is coming off historic pandemic-driven highs.
I wonder why they're going to have trouble in the first quarter, considering they released all their first quarter product this fall.
Let's see. While we have made some important progress across our organization, the headwind we saw through the first 9 months of the year has continued to the holidays and likely persists in 2024.
I'm reading everybody's comments. If I'm not reading them out loud, I am reading all of your comments, and I appreciate everybody's feedback in the chat. Oh yeah. Sean Sorgan says, remember when Sears Canada failed and they raided the workers' pension fund to give middle management a morale fund to help them through the difficult transition? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, yeah, Jojo Star says, man, I hate it when companies make it so incredibly hard to support them. I'm 100% in the same boat right now. Mm-hmm. And honestly, what we need is somebody in charge of this company who isn't a corporate-minded stooge. Because Brian Goldner had great ideas, he helped this company, then he died. And then we got this guy who came up from Magic the Gathering, originally worked at Microsoft, doing their, like, digital front stuff, and that's what he's been pushing for, but he's in charge of a toy company now.
I guess what Magic's downhill this year.
Jojo Star, what's the best way to get Legacy United without giving this terrible company any money? Find an independent retailer. Go to, like, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth or something. Don't go through Amazon, because Amazon sucks. Don't go through Hasbro Pulse, because, yeah, it's Hasbro Pulse.
Oh, a couple tweets about this.
Go for it.
One's from Dan Larson.
Yes.
Remember him? Yeah.
Toy
and
Galaxy.
He was saying what you're saying. Yeah, Toy Galaxy. Anyway, he was saying, like, yo, how does the math work out that laying off actually helps companies? And somebody actually responded with an actual, like, study they did where and I quote, the majority of firms that conduct layoffs do not see improved profitability.
Exactly. You don't have people to do the job anymore. If you don't have people to make your product, you can't make any money.
And yet they still do it.
Yeah.
This is proven.
Spin Dash, sure glad they switched to that lower quality Vietnam factory to save money. Yeah, they saved so much money, they killed an entire Power Rangers line.
There's a stream chat.
On the contrary, Santa, there's a few things I love best about Amazon, including Thursday Night Football in Prime Video.
You enjoy your Thursday Night Football. They'll never let them take that away from you.
Man, I thought Disney and WB was the evil ones. Yeah, Disney. I mean, they're bad. Disney.
They're pretty bad, but like I've never seen Disney lay off like 2,000 people in 1 year. Also, yeah, this is a LinkedIn thing about do massive layoffs of companies.
Yep.
Let's see. Discuss. Let's see. I'm reading some Twitter comments. Disgusting. They could have recoup. Corporate executive can't see beyond the next quarter. Next point, mass layoffs better than the book of the quarter after all that overhead.
You know who's obsessed with next quarter all the time? You know what part of the world is obsessed with quarterly revenue as opposed to like, actually, profitability, brand trust, brand loyalty, customer support? It's Wall Street. It's always frickin' Wall Street. Like, if it wasn't for Wall Street, Hasbro wouldn't be in this position. If they just were working on building their brands and building customer trust more than chasing that, we got to show growth every single quarter so that Wall Street's happy with us. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like talking about Transformers G.I. Joe today. You know, I'm not doing it today.
That's actually one. That's actually one of them was going to be the big 200 probably one.
I wanted to talk about Tidal Wave. I want to talk about new G.I. Joes, but I don't feel like it now because I am so disgusted by this company. We will just talk about it. We'll talk about it later or when they come out or something. I'm not doing it at this point.
So, the question: are you still doing Haslab leak this week, or how much do you film?
I already filmed it. I don't have time to film anything else. We're still doing Haslab week this week. I'm just not going to talk about the news right now because I'm mad.
I see. I'm reading some quote tweets.
Sean's Toy Room. Didn't Wall Street learn their lesson of the Great Recession? Oh wait, they bailed out, so no. Yeah, exactly.
I'm reading some quote tweets about this. Let's see. Hasbro 25 deluxe Transformers. Also Hasbro. Nobody's buying our toys.
I wonder why. Yeah. We're just I'm switching to chat time. I'm done. I was gonna do the Transformers and G.I. Joe news. I can't right now. I'm too upset, to be honest, and I don't think anybody blames me. If chat's fine, the only way you get me to talk about it right now is you super chat me. That's the only way I want to talk about it at this point. You literally have to pay me money right now. Like we're just spend the next 18 minutes complaining about stuff and just chatting. Yeah, I'm not seeing Mattel make layoff. Mattel took like, I think Mattel did layoffs last year, and they did like a few hundred.
Oh, because they had, yeah, like what?
They did a few hundred, and they had more employees than Hasbro does. It's just, I'm still gonna make the videos about toys. I think the reason, I'm still cool doing the Hiss Tank and the Death Stars videos this week because you can't buy those from Hasbro anymore. I'm not doing marketing for them. I'm just reviewing them at that point. I'm just talking about these cool things we got. Because again, when I talk about Hasbro and corporate stuff, I don't talk about any of the designers or the people that make the toys. They're all great. And, I'm worried right now because last time there was layoffs at Hasbro, the last time we got layoffs at Hasbro, we lost like 5 people we'd seen in streams.
Mm-hmm. You guys feel like the current Transformers team? Well, let's hope they didn't get laid off.
Right? I hope Emily doesn't have to be in charge of every brand now.
Man, my God.
Like Dustin Simeo, we talked about the Mecha Smile impact reveals earlier in the stream. We did a whole breakdown of those. But that's the thing is, like, I'll review the Death Saurus and the Hiss Tank because you can't buy those from Hasbro anymore, so I don't feel as bad about those. But God, this is just disgusting to see this company whose whole initial goal in life is just bring joy to people through toys be so categorically evil to the people that make their company work. Like, may I remind you, they got rid of a lead sculptor for 2 lines. And everything's been wishy-washy since. And that's... I did not get the Zapzords. Having the original Megazords, the Zapzords didn't do anything for me. They weren't good enough.
Well, Thomas, man, when Lego beats 2 bigger companies, that's been longer. Lego, Lego seems like the best company from what I've seen because they don't fire any people from it.
Yeah,
I never seen any articles of them firing their people.
Yeah, I don't hear about Lego layoffs.
If you get fired at Lego,
Infinite said this is worrying for the future. Yeah. Sorry. Jerry, go ahead and say that again without me just like yammering.
I said, unlike Hasbro, if you get fired at Lego, it's actually your own fault.
Yeah, exactly. Infinite said this is worrying for the future of Power Rangers. This is the worrying for the future of everything. Like
every brand.
I'm worried about Classified right now.
There's too many things Hasbro has.
I know.
Happy 40th anniversary Transformers and G.I. Joe.
No, seriously, like it's just, if you guys think happy 30th anniversary Power Rangers was bad, happy 40th Transformers, happy 60th G.I. Joe is going to go the same way at this point. Sean's Room puts up a good question. Everyone in the chat, what's your favorite toy line? G.I. Joe, Motu, Star Wars, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, Star Trek. My favorite toy line of all time, it's dead, but I'm just gonna say my favorite toy line of all time is DC Universe Classics, and the sublines that went with it. as a huge DC fan, that line, because I'm looking at it right now, I own every figure. It's up on the wall right now. They're super dusty because I haven't touched them in years. But that line gave me like so many DC characters. It introduced me to so many characters. They were all pretty consistently, good together. There was some stumbles, but boy, do I love that toy line. I wish that could have gone on longer.
For me, it'd probably be a combination of Transformer Cybertron and probably honestly the Jax Sonic line. Those are two lines I'm like. I have almost collected every figure from Jack Sonic now because I really love their stuff.
I would love the Jack Sonic line if I didn't have.
You can find it.
Yeah, if I could find it. And saying the Star Trek Playmates line, that's like probably like my number 2. I love that. I love that line enough to make a 4.5-hour documentary about it, which is also why the new line failing hurts me so much because I love that original line so much too. Yeah. There's a lot of great answers in the chat. I can't read all of them.
How about you, Cass? What's your favorite toy? What's your favorite toy?
I was gonna say nothing until I remember Dragon Stars.
Oh yeah,
the Dragon Stars.
Yeah,
it's that kind of ironic. People were calling like the death of Bandai America after they lost the Power Rangers license, and honestly, they're doing better. Honestly,
actually, Dragon Stars now are actually pretty.
The Dragon Stars anime heroes, they're just doing better.
Anime Heroes One Piece is super fun. I love them. Yeah.
I've collected more Bandai America products than I probably had in Hasbro, honestly, this year. No, they're just plus they're cheap. They're like $20.
Yeah, exactly.
For $20, they go on sale a lot.
Cameron Mater says I need a Ranger Sona. I already have a morphing sequence.
Oh,
hey, thank you, Toma.
Toma, give for their sub.
That's the fourth membership sub.
She did say 25 to
Thomas, Thomas man got the gift sub.
Thank you, Toma.
Welcome.
Yeah, the gift subs. If you wanna join as a member, there's a join button. If you want to gift memberships till they can't, it goes to a person that YouTube decides, but it all helps support the channel. So appreciate that very much. Thank you, Toma.
You're gonna have a lot of people to shout out. Yeah, a lot of people to shout out next video.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to shout. Yeah, because I always do the shout outs when you first join. So I'm gonna have to I'll have to go in and get the list and that'll be on the Hiss Tank video, I think.
If anyone's curious, there's a lot of manga deals going on manga box set deals going on Amazon right now. Follow manga alerts on Twitter. They're doing a lot of there's a lot of deals going on for a lot of these big box sets.
Yeah, and you can be like me and have a Weep Tower. Bandai US or Hasbro, who did PR better? If we're talking about the entire run, it's Bandai.
But they have the advantage of having 25 years.
And they had Bandai Japan's direct help for like 20. How many seasons do we have? What was Mystic Force? They had Bandai Japan's direct help for 14 years.
It is interesting when I ever see like design document from Plex for toys. I'm like, that's for Bandai American toys. That's always weird me out when I saw those on like Twitter.
Cameron says, "What's your favorite comic book?" Mine is Crisis on Infinite Earths. That is my all-time favorite comic book. That's why when you see me not excited about the movie, you know that I think it's going to be bad. But that is my all-time favorite comic book. It's the reason I'm a DC fan, like 100%.
Favorite for me would probably be Peter J. Tomasi's Superman Rebirth run.
That's such a good one.
Close second is probably close second is probably gonna be the original Blue Beetle run. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, the Keith Giffen run.
Yeah, Keith Giffen run. And new recent third is Alice Long's Spirit World that just concluded a couple months ago. That I hope that gets picked up again. That world and characters is so good.
I really like Spirit World and City Boy. I didn't like the visual as much.
No, I gave two. I did not care for the visual when I read the first issue.
I thought there was some cool ideas with visual, but like I mostly was like, I don't really understand what's going on.
City Boy did not get the first impression when I read the prelude, but then I read the first 2 issues. And I really liked it, but I had to. That one I had to get in trade because I just couldn't.
Issue 5 of City Boy like hit me like a truck. I wasn't expecting it to be that impactful. Cal, do you have a favorite comic book?
Yet again, I was gonna say no, and then I remember. And then I remembered when Valiant came back, they had a revival series for all their old comics. You know, now they're Valiant Entertainment. Anyways, Fred Van Lent had a Archer and Armstrong run that's still like my favorite run of any comic ever. His original like Archer and Armstrong run. It's hilarious.
See you next week, JoJo Star.
Milestone Return Stack Season 1 is another.
I don't know how many people
like,
even know what the heck I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking
It's
about.
like, wait, you mentioned something outside of Marvel and DC, like
yeah. Oh, I mean, if we start getting into other comics, I love Hellboy universe stuff.
Yeah,
Hellboy.
Yeah, Hellboy.
I need to read my Scott Pilgrim is another one.
Scott Pilgrim is one of my favorites too. The original Milestone comics, Blood Syndicate is a comic I never expected to like as much as I did. But I think my favorite Milestone book is Icon and Rocket.
Oh, that's Icon Rockets. Look, I didn't get that old Milestone Canadian. Those Canadians.
Yes, the third one's coming out next month. Oh yeah, Scrubboard Raving, Radiant Black. Rogue Sun's my favorite of the Massiveverse books, though. I really like those two.
Have you? Well, spoil. Have you read the issue 3 of Energon Universe Transformer yet?
Yes, I did.
Oh man, not to spoil for the chat, but God, it's a trip.
Shiro Amada would be proud.
Also, man, I'm really looking at that preview for Cobra Commander. I'm really looking forward to read that comic now.
I was watching an interview Comic Tropes did with Joshua Williamson about his new G.I. Joe comics, and he was like, "I'm surprised Hasbro let me get away with everything I did in Cobra Commander." He's like, "I'm surprised they let me."
I mentioned that preview from issue 3 it's like a preview of what's gonna be in the issue.
It's gonna be a preview. It's a preview from issue 1.
Okay, but because goddamn, man, I am really curious to read.
I forgot to mention another one of my favorite comic books of all time. It's not like I read all 328 issues
Harry
of
Lama.
it. Larry Hama's G.I. Joe. I can't. It's funny. I sometimes skip over that when I talk about my favorite comics of all time because I read the entirety of that like 2 years ago, so it's like super fresh. It's not like a super far back like love, but like love that comic. Thomas Mann says, I got a good question for you. If Hasbro went bankrupt, who would you want to take the franchises? Okay, first of all, if Hasbro goes bankrupt, the toy industry's doomed. Hasbro and Mattel are like Marvel and DC. They both got to keep existing so that everything else can exist. The second one of those collapses, the whole industry's falling off a cliff.
So if that,
but hypothetically, how are we splitting up the Hasbro licenses? Let's just.
Well, Takara will probably just open a U.S. branch, I imagine.
Yeah, but that sounds good. Takara U.S. branch for Transformers, right?
I mean, it's so weird because I know Tomy has a U.S. branch, but it's so weird because I know Takara and Tomy are one company, but like Tomy somehow was able to make their own U.S. branch away from Takara.
Yeah, because Tomy was much larger before Tomy bought Takara.
But still, I imagine it'll be like the full Takara Tomy like international.
Sean's Toy Room. How can Hasbro survive? Fire their idiot CEO and get a new one.
Yeah. It's like Zaslav.
Exactly. So, all right.
Power Rangers go back to Bandai?
Power Rangers back to Bandai. That seems obvious, right, Cass?
That might as well happen.
Probably a good company for G.I. Joe. Mattel?
Give G.I. Joe to Valaverse. They've been doing Action Force stuff. They've been doing good. Just give them the license. Just give them the character rights at that point, you know?
I guess Marvel's McFarlane?
Oh my god, imagine Todd's just like, I finally get to make my Spider-Man and Venom.
No, it's like, no, I was like the Infinity Gauntlet. Aha, I have them both.
Yeah. No, Marvel either McFarlane or Mattel.
Would Star Wars be Mattel?
I think Star Wars just wouldn't have toys, to be honest. Star Wars toys as is are not selling that great. And yeah, I think that's also a problem Hasbro's probably having financial wise, is the Star Wars license is stupidly expensive for the fact they don't sell.
Good old Disney tax.
And so what they should do with Star Wars, what Hasbro should do, is go to Disney and say, hey, you need to lower our license cost because your stuff isn't selling anymore. You know, that's what they need to do. They need to get tough. They need to get tough and tell off Disney. Who gets My Little Pony? Mattel. 100%.
Mattel.
100% Mattel. They would.
You know what line I wish it was available in more stores and didn't get pretty much destroyed or like canned fully? It was the Disney Toy Box line. That toy line was great.
Yeah.
That was a great toy line, but like it was only in Disney stores, and I think that line's dead now, sadly.
Common Jojo says, "Hey guys, in a few years I want to make professional comics for a living. What company do you recommend me to publish my comics at?" Kaus, do you have any insight on like who's the most friendly to new ideas? Because I feel like Image and Valiant are probably the two.
Image are straight up the most.
Yeah.
If you're not like making a webcomic, if you want to be in the industry, not just like webcomics, yeah, it has to be Image.
Image, Action Lab used to be. They had some popular, like they had that zombie stripper comic. That was actually
wasn't that actually good?
Yeah, it was actually good, and I remember I used to review it. I would get review copies for free, but Action Lab kind of like stopped talking to me, and then I noticed that they also started changing their structure, their company structure.
Yeah.
So I don't know anymore if they're as open. Image definitely. I just went to Image. They're like, hey, yeah, you can just submit a comic script, and I'm like, cool. When I finish one, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, like the Image takes pitches still, right? Yeah.
Thomas Man, you know. Also, like another thing with Hasbro, yeah, is I see Thomas Man. Power Ranger in my area is dead. Like, good luck trying to find anything
So is the franchise.
nowadays.
I don't know how to tell people this. I've been trying to put it sweetly for months. Power Rangers is dead until it comes back.
I'm already talking with Distribution because I just
now you mean
Transformer. Even with Transformers, it has to be
dead.
Transformers is like
Superman
you have to like wish on a black moon to find new product. Like, yeah, I know you can get it online, but like it's one of those things where you're
actually finding them in stores is hard. It really is.
I gotta look. Yeah, and even then, it's one of those. You have to can you afford it at the time? Because I saw Strong Arm like yesterday, a few days ago. And I was gonna get it, but I need to save money for Christmas Christmas shopping. So I had to.
I don't have money for
off
Christmas shopping anymore.
That's good old good old restriction. Good old. Ugh, I hate it.
I had to back order Bludgeon on Amazon because he was gone everywhere else, and I was like, nope, not losing out in the tar and mold a second time.
This is why Hasbro firing all these people for Christmas is awful because they won't get their holiday bonus. Just insert
the scene from Scrooged where Bill Murray's Frank Cross fires a guy right before Christmas, and his assistant is like, "Hey, you're firing him right before Christmas, you monster!" And he's like, "Oh right, yeah, no, remember to cancel his Christmas bonus." Like that's
you got that.
Scrooged is a movie that was made in 1987, and every year it gets more relevant.
You got that. I thought of National Lampoon Christmas Vacation when Clark got his not Christmas bonus and did his mega rant at the end.
That's how it is. Yeah, exactly.
So what you're saying is Santa should go out and kidnap Frank Golden.
Oh, you mean Chris Cox?
Yeah, Chris Cox, not Brian Golden. Yeah, Chris Cox.
Go kidnap Chris Cox. Well, I wouldn't do it. I'm not the crazy uncle.
Cox would do it.
Well, are you the crazy uncle in this equation?
I kind of am.
Is it him or Wheels?
Yeah, exactly.
We got to call up the Admiral Nogalich from Star Trek TNG because she was the wife in that movie. I met her and I was like, wait a second, you were what? Because she had a photo of her and she's like, yeah, I had this great line of all the what is it? Oh yeah, no, perfect explanation for this. She was like, you cut the Christmas bonuses of all the lousy ways to save a buck.
Yep. I love that line.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah. Oh man. Hey, look, it's 7:00 now.
Yeah, we've run to the end of our stream. Yeah, Super Sentai's still going. It was a bit rocky, but I think Dawn Brothers and King Oger really pulled it out of the rut. I think King Oger especially. So
I just need to grab me again because man, I haven't seen the episode, but I saw that fight scene from our latest episode. Man, they need more time. This team needs more
They
time.
had such a great idea with that fight scene in episode 39, which I don't think Kaus has seen it yet, so I'm not going to say details. They had this great idea where they're like, we filmed it in 360 and then we animated the live performance to do this like anime style fight scene. And I looked at it and I watched the episode and I was like, this did not work. But I can see what they were trying to do, and I appreciate the ambition.
Yeah, it's one of these.
Please stop trying to do this on a weekly TV budget.
Yeah, I love how everybody just plays praises Blazar because they just let Taguchi cook.
Yeah, and they filmed the show. They finished filming the show 9 months ago. So, anyways, I think we had a lot of great discussion today. Sorry we didn't talk about the Transformers G.I. Joe. I think everyone in the chat's we're all in agreement. It's like whatever.
I don't deserve us praising them now.
I will change the stream title for the archive when we're done.
It's called Hasbro Bad.
I'm not going to change the thumbnail, but I'll change the title. I'm going to change. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change the title right now.
Sticky note it. Just put a sticky note.
You know what? Hasbro cuts jobs. No TF or Joe talk today.
Whoops. Da da da.
I just changed. There we go. Change the stream title. That way, it's not like I don't want to clickbait people. We might talk about next stream. Maybe we'll talk about Tidal Wave when the official pictures come out. I gotta cool down. I'm kind of pissed.
Don't blame you.
Anyways,
I'm just kidding.
Where can we find you tomorrow, Kels?
Well, you can find me with Soundout, hopefully, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/FighterCows.
Are you gonna talk about the sparking?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and Sega. And Blade, and there's a whole bunch of other games I forgot. I looked at all the games announced. I'm gonna look at them again before we stream. Like, there's a lot to talk about.
Remember that Wonder Woman game they announced like a couple years ago?
We talking about that.
Yeah, we talked about that at the top of the show.
Yeah.
all these games announced 2 years ago.
That's Fighter Cows. That's Fighter with XAOS.
I put the link in the chat, so please check it out.
4 p.m. Eastern.
Dustin had a great comment here. Again, Hasbro doesn't need people to make them look bad. They just do it fine all by themselves. Yep, 100% agree.
Follow me at Darko Secretary on YouTube and Twitter, or do arcade missions at the One Seasons Radio channel. You want any? Feel free to DM me on Twitter or the Discord sign up protocol. The link in the description below.
Join the Discord. We have a good time there. We'll talk about more stuff. If you guys want to ask me Doctor Who questions, because I'm a 3-week-old Doctor Who fan now.
Where are you now in the series 1?
I'm halfway through series 1. I didn't get to watch any last week because we had a bunch of stuff going on, and I kept.
Did you watch the newest episode?
I did watch the Neil Patrick Harris special, which is the whole reason I even got started into this thing. But thank you everybody for being here. Sean's Toy Room. Thank you for the sympathy on it being a depressing toy news week. I was going to balance out the Star Trek talk with like Transformers and G.I. Joe, but no, Hasbro.
We can't praise Hasbro when they did bad oopsies.
Not in the same stream, maybe in a week. But I see you guys.
That'll make us look like hypocrites.
We'll be back next week. Enjoy the videos this week, even if it's about Hasbro products. It's stuff that I paid for a year ago, so. And we're just in. We'll talk about this tank. We'll talk about Death Stars. We'll talk about hopefully some fun stuff next week. I hope there's more news. It's been really slow. If not, I think we're going to talk about best and worst purchases of the year next week. I think maybe. So if you guys want to prep stuff for that, I'm ready to wrap this out. I'll just keep rambling. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you to Toma once again for gifting memberships. Terrific generosity and wonderful support. And thank you all very much. And Infinite, if Hasbro and Disney collapse, we're going to have a lot more to talk about as things fall apart, and then we're going to have to start making our own stuff. And on that note,
the Sounds My company coming soon.
I don't know how to run a company. We'll cross that bridge when we need to come into it. But see you guys next week. Have a great one. We'll see y'all in 7 days.